Thank you for accommodating our request for an interview tonight, ma'am. I am Angelito Vergar
No problem.
from St. Francis Xavier College, currently taking the Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, ma'am. I am here, ma'am, to interview you about your experience in teaching English language. And I am very interested in learning about your experience as an English teacher. And here's the question, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell us your background and teaching experiences?
Okay. So first, hello. Hello all. First and foremost, I'm teacher Mary Jo B. Alvar. I'm 29 years of age from Barangay Santa Irene, Municipality of Prosperidad, Province of Agusan del Sur. So I completed my college education at PNU Mindanao with a degree of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English last 2014. So for 3 years, I worked at a private school in Mexico, Pampanga. But at present, I am affiliated with the Agusan del Sur as junior high school teacher and currently teaching at Benasuerte National High School, San Francisco District 2 for 5 years already.
What motivated you, ma'am, to become an English teacher?
So I am handling English subjects in grade 7, grade 8, and grade 10. So I've been teaching English for 5 years. So actually, what motivated me to be an English teacher, actually there's a fun story in that. So when I was in high school, I love movies. And then there was a time I was amazed by the actors in an English movie speaking the language, and they look good to me. So that's the start. And during my first year in college, my goal is to go abroad and teach there. So that's why I chose English as my major and learned to love it. Then I also believe that there's a lot of opportunities when you're an English teacher or an English major. So you can work in call centers and all.
Okay, ma'am.
That's it.
Thank you, ma'am. And what kind of students have you taught, ma'am?
Oh, they're mixed actually, homogeneous. So there are learners that are fast learners. There are also learners that are slow learners. So we cannot deny with that because some students are not speaking the language. So there is a language barrier because English is not their first language.
Ma'am. Ma'am, can you describe some of your most challenging language teaching experiences and what did you enjoy about those experiences and how did you feel about the students' progress?
Actually, there is a lot of challenges when you're teaching an English subject. As what I have said earlier, students, especially in public schools, especially those in far-flung areas, so there is a language barrier. So that is the first challenge as an English teacher because students or our learners, they don't know anything about English, or as I have said, English is not their first language. So the challenge there is a language barrier. So when I am teaching them, usually I translated it in vernacular so that they can understand my lesson. So another is that because they find it hard to comprehend, is why there's a lot of factors that will hinder their learnings. But when I see to it that they comprehend and understand, especially when I am teaching them literature, so they had a lot of fun in that literature. But when it comes to grammar, it seems difficult to them. So when I teach them literature, I translated it in a vernacular in a way that they can understand. So I am at the end of my lesson when I achieve my objectives, when I achieve my goals in teaching them. So that will make me happy. So their progress will make me happy.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can you describe some of your most challenging language teaching experience, ma'am?
Oh, so as what I have said, those are the challenging times when students or learners find it hard to comprehend or understand the language because of barrier. There's a language barrier.
And what kind of activities do you use in the classroom, and how do you tailor your teaching approach to meet the needs of different students, ma'am?
Mm. Of course, we all know that no one is the same. So everyone is unique. So our learners, especially they are in 21st century learners, they are Gen Z. So of course, I use a lot of strategies and I cater the multiple intelligences by students. So I use contextualize learning materials, and I use strategies that will cater their multiple intelligences, because there are students that are good in arts, there are students that are good in singing, there are students that are good in dancing. So I see to it that their intelligences or will be catered, you know, so they can excel in their own way.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what is your professional development, and how do you stay up to date with the latest language teaching techniques and trends? And have you attended any professional development courses or workshop recently?
Yes, we have a lot of webinars during the pandemic, and before that, we have a lot of seminars, trainings, and workshops on the trends in English language teaching. So we are equipped with skills, especially that our students now are good in technology. So we use technology in teaching them. So we have projectors, or we have a PowerPoint presentations and all, to make them motivated in learning. And then the trends and strategies, learning strategies that will cater every one of them, and those strategies that will make them to better understand the lesson. So we don't I don't usually use one strategy. So I use a lot of strategies for different lessons and for different learners.
That would be all, ma'am. Thank you very much for your time and valuable insights. Do you have anything else you would like to share, or any advice that you
For
would
you,
give to new language teachers, ma'am?
um, as a public teacher and as English teacher for 8 years, if I will count my experience in private school, I've been teaching English for 8 years, but in public, I've been teaching um, English for 5 years. So as the future English teachers as you are, so all I can say is that stay in your course, and then in your goals, and of course learn a lot, because every day we learn, and then learning is a continuous process. So there's a lot of things that we will learn in the future and in this time. So we cannot go away with traditional way of teaching, because we are changing, no? So we cannot teach our students the way they are taught yesterday, because as what I have said, our learners now is they are in 24 they are 21st century learners. So we should learn, and we should be updated with the skills and strategies to better teach them. So that would be my advice for you as future teachers and future language teachers in the field.
Okay, ma'am. That would be all,
So
ma'am.
don't be scared. That is a compliment, and that is a challenge. No, not to scare you, but a challenge to to become a better teacher and to teach our students, um, so they can learn effectively.
It will be all, ma'am. Thank you for your time, ma'am.
No problem.